Friends, did you want to be a dieter for the rest of your life? Is that what you thought was going to happen when you went on that first diet? Yeah, me neither. Well, that's what I did, though, for 25 years. I dieted, and it doesn't work. So here we are. Welcome back to everyone who's interested in going through the workbook. It's available online, but you don't have to get it. It looks like this, and we're going through it. And right now, we're on page 49. And the reason we're taking the time to do this is because diet culture is everywhere. And by diet culture, I mean all the messaging that you get saying, do this, don't do this, eat this. This is the thing to eat now. Do carnivore, do vegetarian. It's a repeat cycle. Believe me, I've been around. It's a repeat cycle where all these things come and go. And you're left going, what the heck? I've done so much work, so much effort, and I'm still struggling. So we're getting through that. Oh yeah, you're going to replace that diet mentality actively by doing this workbook, by thinking about it, by feeling it. You have to replace it, because if you just take your diet mentality and to get rid of it, which is good, but you leave a vacuum. You don't want to leave a vacuum. You want to leave the thoughts that you need to get out of that diet mentality thinking into a healthy, thin mentality thinking, where you get and stay at your happy weight for the rest of your life, and there's no more struggle. And I know you don't believe me. I always say that because I wouldn't have believed me, but I promise I was a huge dieter just like you, and if I can do it, so can you. I had someone in my life who kind of showed me the way. She didn't even know she was showing me the way. She's my little grandmother. I've talked about her 1,000 billion times, but I'm going to be that person for you to show you that it's possible, that it's joyful, and that this is what you should do, really. So we're on page 48, 49. We were going through these things last time about just having a minute to think, why am I eating this? Do I even want this? Because guess what? You eat food that you don't even want when you're a dieter, because you're not even connected. You're not thinking about even what you want. You're just always bullied into eating this or not eating this, and it's not fun. And you're doing the bullying to yourself because of diet culture. But you can get out of it, all right? So the whole thing here with becoming an intuitive eater and respecting your body and enjoying food more than you ever did before, because now when you're eating food, it's never enjoyable. I mean, it is kind of, but you're always worried, like, oh God, or you always feel bad. I'm talking to my friends, the dieters, not my friends who just never dieted, because maybe you can be helped here, but I'm talking about you dieters who are like what I used to be like, and food was an angstful situation, always. So yeah, and if I can get out of it, so can you. So when you're eating cake, when you're a dieter, you're eating it and you're kind of liking it, but there's that feeling inside of, oh God, now how many miles am I going to have to run to get rid of this? Or you tell yourself that and then you don't do it. So you have to connect with this key concept, and this is where you always go. There is only one reason to eat, and it is hunger. What should you eat? What your body is guiding you to. I know. Really? Yes. Your body is beautiful and smart. And you can, focus first on waiting for hunger. And then that beautiful connection to what your body actually needs will reestablish itself, I should say, because you had it when you were a little kid. So the Healthy Thin Mentality Proclamation is something that you need to kind of embed in your soul as you're going through this, because you're going to need things to think about when you want to doubt this. And you're going to want to doubt this because 5 billion times in your life, 10 billion times, well, a little exaggerated, but okay, 10 million, I don't know, 10,000, you've been told to go on a diet. You've been told the way to thinness is dieting and food restriction and exercising a ton, and that's not it. That's not what naturally thin people do. We always talk about French ladies or French men and how they're slim. They don't do that. But they don't eat when they're not hungry. Yeah. It's not like this thing. It's become a thing, but it didn't used to be a thing. And I'm old enough to remember when it wasn't a thing. And it wasn't, I promise. And I was born 1960. So I'm just telling you, I've seen this. And when Weight Watchers, I used to know this. I think it came into being like in the 60s. And right before that, in the 50s, there started to be a lot of diet culture and, insurance tables weighing people, and people started getting freaked out. And that's when diet culture grabbed a hold and just started perpetuating these myths about thinness and about how to get there. So you need this Healthy Thin Mentality Proclamation in the top of your brain. I was born with the wisdom to eat what I crave when I'm hungry. Okay, this is on page 50. Yes, you were born with that. But I traded in that wisdom for diet rules and quick fix programs that ended up crippling my relationship with food, eating, and my own body. You have to see the first 50 pages of this workbook. We're going through just feeling that and discovering the truth of that. This is how you got where you were, where you are. If you're overweight and you've been a dieter, this is how it happens. Because if you go back to the very first diet you ever went on, and we talked about this earlier, but just remember, what did you weigh when you started? And then what did you weigh like a year later? And how was your weight gone? It's that you diet, you lose weight, you gain back more. You diet, you lose weight, you gain back more. That's the true curve. And that's what you're trying to reestablish, the normal relationship with food and eating, where you're not constantly going on famines and then expecting to stay thin after that. You don't. Your body rebels and you quickly gain back weight. And that's normal. So don't do that anymore. What do? You think about this healthy thin mentality proclamation where you say halfway down, I am fully committed to reviving that wisdom. So it's in you. It exists. You've shut it down. You just ignored it for decades, like I did, decades, and never trusted myself. Because everyone around you is dieting. Well, this is the way. She's crazy. She's saying if you want a Snickers bar, just to eat it if you're hungry, and that's what you want. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you know what? When you start not demonizing food, it loses its power over you. So in the beginning, and I always say this because I know you're out there going through these first few weeks of this, and I'm eating so many sweets. Well, if you're hungry, it's okay. But that won't last. You got to get through these phases like a little kid learning things. You just got to get through this where you go, okay, wow, I could have a Snickers bar now or whatever the heck it is you like. But I really don't want that. I want something really nutritious. That's what I feel like having. Yes, your body will feel like doing that instead of having a Snickers. Where right now you don't believe that. You're like, well, if given the choice, I'm always going to want that. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you are not. Believe me, that changes. You got to get through it. You got to get through saying, well, this isn't an evil food. If I were starving to death, I would live because of this food. It's not evil. It's just when you eat it just because you're not dieting at that moment. And so I'm going to eat cake because I'm not dieting now. That's what messes you up. It's that living in the past and living in the future where you're never just in this moment. Is this even really what I want? You're eating it because you're afraid you're not going to get it again anytime soon. Right? So these are the things you have to recommit to reviving this wisdom. I will be that person who saw the irony of dieting and overcame it. Join me. It's fun. I will be that person who enjoys my food and my body. I will respect my body type, my voice, and my wisdom. Yes, you're the only one who can do that, and you've got it, and you just don't know it. I promise, you have it. You have this wisdom. I will be the best representation of one ideal, me. Because we get in trouble when we try to be the best representation of somebody else, maybe a different body type. And I'm not saying being heavy, but I'm saying we're not all born with the same body type. And I don't think I've talked about this lately, but a big thing that I think about is like dogs. Like we love dogs of all shapes and sizes. I'm not saying, heavy, obese or anything. I'm saying you have to respect the body that you were born in. And if you weren't born leggy, you're not going to get leggy all of a sudden. And you say, well, yeah, I am. I'm just going to really get really skinny and then I'll be leggy. Okay, but that's a fight for the rest of your life. You want to respect your body type and you want to respect your own hunger and be the best representation of you. And again, you're the only one who can do that. We're getting up here to week 4. And I want to talk about this because there's this big myth that, you got to eat breakfast. No, when you wake up, if you're not hungry, don't eat. But if you wake up and you are, then eat. So this is just one little isolated example of you paying attention to you and not the clock and not what you ate yesterday. Your body will pay attention to that for you, by the way, but you don't have to do that. You just have to listen. You have to zip it and listen without prejudice to what your body's actually saying. You may want to be hungry sometimes. I want to be hungry sometimes because I know I have something delicious and I'm going to want it, but I'm going to wait till I'm hungry because it's 20,000 times better. And because if I wait for hunger to eat, then I never have to not eat when I am hungry, right? Like the dieting sets you up for you don't eat when you are hungry, and that's crummy. That breaks you. That makes your body scared. And you don't want to do that. You want to eat just until hunger goes and then delay eating more till hunger comes back. So these things that we live by, like every morning I get up and I have a green shake or a green smoothie, whatever. Okay, are you hungry? Are you thirsty? What's going on? Don't just automatically do things unless you're, that works if you are very consistent in all your activity, everything you do day in, day out. You may have this rhythm where you are hungry and that is what you crave. Okay, but just make sure, keep open to the fact that maybe this isn't a green smoothie morning, and maybe this is, I'm not going to eat anything till 2 and then I'm going to have a hamburger or whatever. Be open to your body sending you different signals on every day, right? So the days don't necessarily look alike. Again, I'm going to say this again. If you do the same thing every day over and over, then those rhythms might develop, and that's fine. Just don't get locked in. Don't get locked in. So as you're going through here on week 4, remember the daily checklist of getting rid of this diet mentality, where you have to engage, maybe on our private Facebook or with other people of like minds. Keep yourself reinforced, because it's really easy just to go, this isn't working. I know I ate too much last night. I just can't do this. I'm going to just blow up. I know what you're thinking, but just calmly say, that's not reasonable. If I'm hungry and I eat, nothing's fattening. If I'm eating without hunger, then no matter what it is, it's fattening, right? So just keep the calm wisdom. Don't panic. Don't weigh yourself. And I'm not saying that because we're going to get into the scale more later, but just a little heads up on this. The scale doesn't help you. You think it helps you be good. No, it doesn't. It helps you not listen to your body. And you go, well, I weighed a little less this morning, so I think I can eat this. Right? I know you've said that. Or, oh my gosh, I weigh more today and I really better not eat as much today. That's not what you want. You want to pay attention to your body, not the number, because that number, we'll go into this more, but just a little preview. The number on the scale is not accurate for your every day like that. It's not good enough for that. And so you don't want to rely on it. I mean, in general, if you weigh yourself over a period of a month, that's going to reflect what you weigh. But when you work out and you gain, you're holding a little water weight or whatever, and then you get on the scale and you're a dieter and you're like, oh God, look at that. I mean, I'm up and I thought I worked out so hard. And you make yourself sad. Don't make yourself sad by doing silly things like that. Weighing yourself frequently is harmful. You want to do your clothes fit. You want to go to more standardized things that over time will give you a picture. You're not eating today so you can get on that scale in the morning and get a number. That's not your goal. Your goal of how you eat today is connecting hunger with eating. And when hunger slips away, noticing it and going, I'm not hungry anymore. I mean, I'm kind of still eating. So let me think about that. What happens if I just stop now? Okay. What's way harder than that is not eating when you are hungry. When hunger has slipped away, if you gently, with love towards yourself, go, okay, I'm just going to delay right now. And if I really feel like I need this and it's really hard and I'm really focused on it and I need another bite, okay. But let me just a chance, just to give myself a chance to see if I could be happy leaving this here. And these kind of little things that you do over time, you get stronger and stronger in this. And you realize that food that you really thought you needed and you weren't going to be able to just even go to bed without eating more, but you're really okay. And then that trust builds within you. And that is the basis of your healthy thin mentality. It's that trust reestablishing between that your body, just like it knows how to breathe, knows how to eat. Oh, wow. Yes, it does. And, if you have goals of being weird skinny, like out of your body range, no. But if you want to be your happy, healthy weight for the rest of your life, you do not need to gain a bunch of weight as you age. I know menopause, no, because menopause gives you signals too that you have to pay attention to. So there's a lot of hope here. There's a lot of joy. There's a lot of loving food and loving your life around food and not worrying about Thanksgiving and not worrying about Christmas and not worrying about June and bathing suits. That goes away. Now, what would you do with your life if you didn't have all those worries? Yeah, you'd make room for other stuff and you'll be glad. So the daily checklist, just real quick to finish up here, take a few minutes to connect with these thoughts. The daily affirmations, go through, pick a couple that you love, and again, say them, feel them, ingest them, like you would food, just ingest it, and like the ones like nothing's fattening when you're hungry, everything's fattening when you're not, or hunger's the best sauce. There's so many, but those are two of my favorite. Do that because you need to replace the vacuum that diet mentality is going to leave. And then very useful tool. I mean, I do it to this day. I have food with me so that I don't eat preventatively. And I don't get hangry because you don't want to get hangry. But in the beginning, when you're trying to figure out what your hunger is and how strong it is, you're going to be somewhere and go, oh, I didn't eat and now I'm hangry, and it's going to be like a bad experience for you because you're going to go, see, this is what happens. Well, right. So have a little snack in your purse, a little something in your drawer at work, a little something in your car, so that if you get at that spot, you can calm yourself down and not fear hunger. You don't want to fear hunger. You want to embrace hunger. But it is a bummer, and obviously we're very lucky we can afford food. Let's always say that. But it's a bummer if you're somewhere and you're hungry and you can't eat, and that fear of being hungry. You don't want to make that a bigger thing in your life. You want that to be calm. No, I was hungry and I had a few bites of this. It calmed me down until I could get somewhere where I ate more or didn't. Or I realized, wow, a couple bites, that was pretty good. That held me for quite a while. You'll learn so much through doing this and paying attention. You got to pay attention to what your body's telling you. So guys, please like, share, subscribe to this channel. Really helps get the message out. And if I can do it, you can do it. And don't delay. Get on this and solve this problem once and forever. You can do this. Yes, you can. Of course you can. This is normal.